Welcome to another episode of the Game Winner Pod. I'm your host, Malique Gordon. That's AJ Stovall. We're going to talk a lot of basketball today, a lot of football. Not a lot of football, but some football. How you feeling, gang?
I'm good, bro. How about you?
I mean, good. Long day. Just got back from NC. It was a nice weekend. But let's get to it, though. So our first topic is going to be, who do you feel like the NBA MVP is right now?
Um, I feel like it should be Shea. Um, just because the consistency that he brings every game. Um, he's up to averaging 33 points a game now. So it's like, even though Jokic is averaging a triple double, it's like his team is still LKC is the best in the league, is second best in the league, best in the West. And it's just every time I've seen a stat, it was like Shea has the most, he has like 9 consecutive games of like getting 30 on the top five teams in the league, which is kind of crazy to me. That means he's dominating every game against everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. Jokic is doing the same thing as well, but I just feel like Shea is doing it. He's been doing it ever since day one. So especially with him doing it while you have Dub out, and then sometimes you have Dort out, then you had Chet out, and then when Hartenstein was out. So I definitely feel like it should be Shea just for that purpose. And it seems like he's not slowing down. Even though Jokic is averaging triple double, he's doing some crazy things. It just um it seems like Shea definitely steps his game up and knows like when other players is out, when other teammates is out, it's like he still knows the objective, like he gets the job done. And he just looks unguardable. It just looks too easy out there. And he's putting up stats ever since Michael Jordan put up stats. Like it's the defense, it's the two-way he is. Um and I feel like it should be his to lose. Like there's no way he shouldn't win it at this point.
No, I agree with you. Like, I also say Shay, like, you think about it, like, and like, I've told you this off the air, like, if he don't win it this year, I don't think he's ever going to win it, because for some reason, I don't know when it started, but it's like ever since Shea overtook Jokic for the number one spot in the ladder, like back in December, the Jokic fans been crazy. Like, they out. The Jokic fans is out. Like the free throw merchant title, that started this year. Like, he was getting to the line last year and year before that, he could always get to the line, but for some reason, he overtake Jokic in the MVP ladder. And now he's a free throw merchant. Was you hearing the free throw merchant last year?
I
Because
mean, I feel like some people been brought it up. I feel like I've seen it. Some people did bring it up a little bit, but I never had a problem with it.
but was it this bad?
No, it's probably worse than what it is because he's averaging. I feel like he's averaging more. So it's a lot. People are putting a more spotlight on it.
But gang, like I'm saying, I keep up with Shay like you do. I wasn't hearing this free throw merchant title, and
No,
if I heard it maybe like one time, but it's bad now.
that's what I'm saying. Like I've heard it probably very seldom, not as much as I do now, for them not to give the MVP to him. You know, like they're bringing up excuses for him not to get it because what Jokic is doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, if he don't get it this year, he's never gonna get it because he's like I said, he's averaging 33, 5, and 6, basically two steals a game, shooting like 50 from the field. The last player to do that was Mike, you know, and Mike won what, 5 MVPs?
Hmm.
So personally, I feel like although Jokic having a great season, first 30, 20, 20 game, all that, like I get it. But like to me, you gotta stay consistent. The MVP award is supposed to be about, yes, your individual play, but also your team record. That's how it's been. No, and like I'm on record, like I feel like MVP voting is flawed, and I tend to like invalidate it because of that. But if you go and stick to the criteria that you had just last year when Jokic won it, because Luka had better numbers, Shea had better numbers, but you gave it to Jokic because he won. Like if you go and stick to that criteria, then Shea gotta win it because Luka was averaging 34, 9, and 9, 34, 10, and 9, and he got what, one, two votes? Like Shea gotta be it. You know
But
what I'm
see,
saying? And
but
my and before you go, my thing is this: Jokic is also, like I said, if it's gonna be about team wins as far as the individual numbers, they're losing to some pretty bad teams. Like they just got beat by the Wizards. You know what I'm saying? Like they're dropping games we thought they wouldn't drop. It's a dog fight with the Lakers, but no Luca, Bron, Rui, Dorian. Like they're losing. But go ahead.
no, I mean, I feel you on that. Only thing I disagree on is him is the fact when you say he might never win it, just because the fact like even though if Jokic do average a triple double next year, like they did Westbrook, they didn't give him like I understand that his shooting percentages is good, but they didn't give him the MVP after he had average triple double three times more than that. And for the MVP, and when you say it's supposed to be the best person on like the best team, like it's supposed to be the team wise too, it's like they've been going back and forth with that every year, it seems like. They'll go with either it's the best individual play or it'd be the best player on the best team. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
Westbrook,
that's not right.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when Westbrook won it, he was sixth seed. When Kobe won it, what was the Lakers?
No,
What
he was
seed
like
was
a, he was like a number one or two seed in the
Okay,
league.
so that's validated.
Yeah.
But like when Steve Nash won it, there was a good there was number one seed. I'm just saying like it really goes back and forth. Like they want to do sometimes individual ways. Like you can be it don't matter what seed you is, as long as you make the playoffs, it don't matter what seed you in. Or it could be you number one and number two seed, or you the best team in the league and you putting up stats. Like you know what I'm saying? It goes back and forth. So the MVP situation is kind of hard to really determine because of that.
And
Like the
that's
way
why,
Shea is playing. If they was doing it like that, Shea would be unanimous MVP at that point.
right, and that's why I try to tell you, like, I'm invalidating that. I'm not taking MVPs into account like that, bro, because what's the criteria? They switch it up every year. That's why when it comes to these GOAT debates, I tell you, bro, like, you want to count MVPs and all this other stuff, but look how they vote for that stuff. Like that, like really, those awards are opinion based.
Yeah,
Because there's probably I feel like you would agree, there's probably 4 to 5 guys every year that are deserving of the MVP, that are deserving of DPOY, deserving of first team All NBA, no second team, third team. Like there's guys that, in my opinion, and I feel like you would agree, deserve the award every year, but might not win it.
right,
That's why they got the MVP voting, like the top, like who's on the ballot. You know what I'm saying? Like what's your candidates? Because all of those candidates got a case to be the MVP or DPOY.
right.
That's why I feel like when it comes to like ranking players, you got to look beyond just who's winning the awards because there's so many guys that put up MVP caliber seasons, DPOY caliber seasons, first team All NBA caliber seasons that sometimes they just don't get it because other things got in the way, or their team might not have been as good, or something along those lines. But it doesn't mean they weren't deserving. So I feel like you got to look beyond just who's winning the award.
Yeah, that's true. They need to put some better people on the they need to put some better people on the situation because it's like they need people to where they're going to stick to one thing. Like either you're going to stick to it being that one, if you're going to stick to it being one situation, you'll stick to it being another situation. Like, is it going to be the best? Is it going to be the best player who's playing the best on the best team, on a good team? Or are you going to do it from individual aspect? Like, you can average about 37 points a game, but your team is not that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, or is good enough to get to the playoffs? Like, which one you going to think is going to be like, deserving of the award? You can't just do one year like that and then the next year like that. Because then
Right.
we're going to have these conversations forever.
Right. But again, I'm with you. Shea should be the clear MVP. I get Jokic is doing some amazing things, and yes, every player to average a triple double, I believe, up to this point has one MVP. I get that, but again, they're not winning like they was last year. I think last year was like what, two seed or
Yeah.
one seed? They was, I think, either one or two.
No, who you talking about?
The Nuggets last year.
I think there was like two or three seed, right?
Either way, they higher than what they are now. I think at this moment they're the 4 seed. At this moment, I believe. Um, but yeah, it's like like I said, Shea's putting up 33, 5, and 6. He's shooting like 50, what, 3% from the field. He's a guard. You know what I'm saying? Like Jokic isn't blowing him out the water with field goal percentage. I mean, he's a big man. Like they faced off 4 times. It's 2-2. You know what I'm saying? Shea got the best of him twice. Jokic got the best of Shea twice. Like, I just don't really see a argument for Jokic other than the fact that he's individually great. And if that's what we're going off of, then there's a whole bunch of guys in the past that should have won MVPs that didn't. If
Right,
that's what we're going off of now. Know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah. But that was a great topic. I ain't gonna lie. Oh yeah, bro. Second topic. So yeah, the free throw merchant stuff. Like we talked about it a little bit now, but like why is it looked at as a negative? Because like I said, I've been keeping up with Shea for the better part of since he first got to OKC. They weren't that good at that time, like during the bubble and stuff like that. So I didn't really put much stock in them. But I've seen him play, watched him play. Like I know, like I've kept up with him. I promise you, I've never heard of this free throw merchant title until he passed Jokic in the MVP race this year. But why do people like to paint getting to the free throw line as a negative? Because I think when Michael Jordan averaged like 37 points a game, he got to the line like 12 times on average, I think, something like that. Why do you think it's bad? Like to me, because when I watch Shea play, it's like, okay, you can't stand in front of him. You can't stay in front of you. He showed that with the Pistons when he had 3 back-to-back plays of 3 ankle breakers in a bucket. Like you just can't guard him.
Exactly.
Yeah, he may bait you into a foul, but you got to be more solid on defense.
Right.
I'm saying if he get you where he get you reaching on him, you know what I'm saying? Or if so he catch you in a spot where you shouldn't be in, you undisciplined, he gonna capitalize off it. So why is it such a bad thing in your mind? Why do you feel like people think it's a bad thing?
I feel like it because it's extra points. Like it's basically I think they're basically saying how it's not really true points as in like as him trying like as him actually scoring a regular like two like a layup or a jump shot or scoring a three. Like I think what they're doing is they're trying to make it seem like he's getting to that 30 with the free throws. Like he needs the free throws with just to get to the 33. But I mean I personally feel like it's a part of the game, like free throws are in the game of basketball for a reason. Like when has it ever been a bad thing for people to get to the free throw line? Um, like it's I feel like it's a skill personally. Like it's not everybody gets to the free throw line like 10 times a game. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, everybody would do it. It's not that like it's the way you draw the foul. It's the way, you know what I'm saying? Like the way watching him play, you can tell how you draw the foul. Something if he's going to the basket and somebody's leaning on him or he got his arm out, he's gonna move up because that's automatic foul, like how James Harden used to do. Um, like I feel like that's a true skill. And I've seen on people podcasts, I see on clips, they say, well, I mean, you can't guard him, so you have to get him to the free throw line. It's not like he probably wants to get to the free throw line. It's just you have like he's get there because you can't guard him. So what else can you do? Um, Either you're gonna let him keep scoring, going to the basket on you, or you're gonna try to stop him, which is gonna be a foul sometimes. So most of that is not really on him. But I feel like people just make it seem like since he averaging 30 points a game is like it's not really truly 30 since he gets the free throw like 10 times. It's like 20, then 10 points of his free throws, but it's like it's a part of the game of basketball. Like
Yeah.
when do James Harden was a free throw merchant, so they claimed he won the MVP off it. So I mean, is it really the NBA is not really caring about that? The fans caring about it more than what the NBA does. I'm
And I,
not, I
sw-
don't understand.
and I swear it's only Shea though, because was we okay. James Harden, he won the MVP in what 2018, 2019,
Yeah.
something like that. That wasn't that long ago with IG and all this was out then. I swear to you, I never saw the free throw merchant title around his name.
No, people were saying it because this is not the first time people have been saying free throw merchant, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
but it wasn't a negative. Like
I don't,
I feel like there's like Shea is getting slandered for this.
They're only
I'm a
doing
player
that.
that's got slandered like this.
I think they're only doing that if Jokic wasn't average a triple double, they wouldn't bring it up. Literally. James Harden was doing it. They didn't see it. They didn't make it as no. I mean, some people thought it was a negative and some people thought it was a skill. If you're in the NBA, I feel like you're gonna feel like free throw merchant is a skill, not a negative. You know what I'm saying? If you know the game of basketball, it's not really a negative. I just feel like Jokic averaging a triple double, they're finding any type of excuse to get it away from Shea. That's
And
what I feel.
and that's so you feel like this free throw merchant title wouldn't even be a thing if Jokic wasn't doing what he was doing.
No.
Okay, let's say for example, Jokic was putting up the numbers he put up last year, 26, 12, and 9. You know what I'm saying? If he was doing that, this wouldn't be an issue.
No, I mean it would. I don't think it would be. I mean, like I said, I've seen people last year say they didn't use the word free throw merchant. I feel like, but they said he was getting to the free throw line a lot because most of his points are free throws. Like you're not getting 30 points a game off
Bro,
just straight.
most of his points are not free throws, bro.
No, I'm not saying most of his points are free throws, bro. I'm saying it's a sum of it. Like it's about 10 points of it every game. He gets to the free throw line like 10 times each game. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a part of his game. It's hard to get 30 points as a guard without the free throws. I mean, you ain't just getting 30 points a game with no free throws every time. There's been games he has, but some games he done shot bad and he got to 25 to 30 because of the free throws. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. They fouling him. Like it's a foul, it's a foul. I'm just thinking people might be using it as a negative this year because of what Jokic is doing. But I've heard like last year he was doing the same thing. This ain't nothing new. He was getting to the free throw line last year a lot. I mean, the same way James Harden was getting to the free throw line when he averaged 35 a game, 34 a game. Like
Right, right. So
it's the same thing.
I just don't remember this free throw merchant title being so bad like this, brother. He's getting slandered every time they post him. It don't even gotta be about him playing ball. Free throw merchant, free throw merchant, free throw merchant. Like I don't remember it being this bad, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. People thought he deserved it last year, so I don't think they used it as a negative. But seeing Jokic averaging a triple double, they're going to try to find every way for him not to get it. That's why I feel like it doesn't matter what Shea does. Like Jokic is top three in every category.
Yeah.
Um, it's hard. It's hard for people to be, look away from that.
So okay, I mean I can get behind that. 'Cause a lot of people like they've taken poll after poll. People think Jokic deserves it. Like not a lot of people be backing Shea like that. So I can see where you're coming from. I can get behind that.
Yeah, that's why I feel like that's the only way, the only reason. But
Yeah.
speaking of you seen how LA played the other day, beat the Suns. No Rui, no LeBron. Um, Austin Reeves and Luca did their thing. Me personally, before we get into before I ask you the question, well, let me ask you, okay, before I even ask you the question, I feel like that game didn't really judge nothing for the fact of the matter is the Suns are not a good team to me personally. Um, yeah, they got KD, they got Bradley Beal, they got Devin Booker, but defensively, we know that team is not good. That's the reason why they are who they are now. Also, Bradley Beal didn't play the second half of that game. Um, Maybe things would have been a little bit different, but I'm gonna ask you, how long you think LA can hold up without Bron, like without him in the lineup?
Let's go look at their schedule real quick. Let's go look at that because that's going to decide it because we've already lost four straight.
Hmm.
I know I told you like last week when we had that stretch of games, I was like, they really could go on a losing streak, and they did. Got a bounce back win versus Suns. So we got Spurs, Nuggets. Oh, by the way, bro, Jokic is out tonight. I don't know why, but he's out tonight. We got the Spurs uh today, 10:30. Nuggets, Bucks, Bulls, Magic, Pacers, Bulls, Grizzlies, Rockets. I think LeBron's gonna be back like what next week?
Yeah,
17th. I mean, probably like 2-2, 2-3. So I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah because I think they can find a way to win enough games to keep what seed are they? Top four, top five, they five. I think they can find. I think the Nuggets are going to lose tonight with Jokic not playing. So I think they can find a way to keep a top four, top five spot because the Warriors are 2.5 games behind the Lakers. So yeah, I think they'll be okay to the point where like they can stay within that two through five range, and then when we get Bron back, get Rudy back. And the whole team was healthy again. No Jackson Hayes already came back. I feel like that's when we'll start to go on that win streak again. And I think the Lakers will end up with the second seed when it's all said and done. When Bron comes back and all them. Right now, they gotta fight to hold their head above water. But I think with their schedule, there are some winnable games up there. So yeah, I think they can. I think they can.
Yeah, I think they can too. Nobody on the schedule really to the point where I think we're going like we'll lose all them games. But like you said, like 2-2, 2-3, I can see that. Um, and that's not bad by the time he gets back because we is winnable after that. Like is everybody as long as everybody's still healthy after that, all the games are winnable for us.
All right. All right. Um, Shoot. Yeah, we're gonna see though. Like I said, like 'cause I don't know why Jokic is out tonight, but I guarantee you he gonna play us on Wednesday. So that's that. But let's go ahead and get to this next question. Interesting question. He's not really talked about a lot. 'Cause I feel like they're so good as a team. His numbers are down a lot. He's not playing as much minutes as he used to, but their team is skyrocketed. Like they're really good this year. Like I think they can get 70 wins. I said that about OKC like a month ago or so, 2 months ago. I actually think the Cavaliers can get 70 wins. Um, do you think Donovan Mitchell deserves to be, well, he's going to be an All-NBA player. Do you feel like he deserves to be first team, though? Because I think he deserves to be first team All-NBA. I think it should go Shea, Donovan, Tatum, uh, Giannis, and Jokic, more than likely. But do you feel like he deserves to be first team All-NBA?
Yeah, I feel like he deserves to be first team. He's the best player on the best team in the league. The best guard. And he's doing it with the less minutes that he had ever since I think his rookie year. Like it's a good production. He's averaging 24 a year. Um, couple assists, couple rebounds, but it's like the efficient. He's also playing efficient. Like, and that's literally on the best team in the best on the best team in the league. So I don't see why he shouldn't be first team All NBA. I mean, I can't really name the other guards in the league that should get it over him. It's just for the fact like they have to for respect level. You know, like that's like how. No, he's top five MVP voting also. Like that's also right then and there. Like that means it's Shea, Jokic, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and Giannis. So that's two guards already in the top five to MVP voting. That by default you got to put them both in the first team All NBA. That should be first team All NBA right there. What I just named those five. So I don't see why he should be anything less than first team. I feel like it'd be probably disrespectful for him to even get anything but first team at this point.
Yeah. And I'm with you. I agree. Like, I'm not saying they're gonna get 70. I hope they do, just because they'll be like what the third team in history to do it.
Hmm.
So I like to see it happen. But like I said, I'm with you. Like there's absolutely no way you can not have him first team if he's the clear-cut best player on the legit best team in the game. Like, especially if they get 70 wins, let's say 69 wins. Like, yes, it's a lot. Like to me, his spot and like I know people when I say this may disagree because the overall numbers aspect isn't there, but I feel like his spot should already be locked up for first team. Know what I'm saying? His
Yeah.
spot, Shea's spot, Jokic's spot should be locked up. You can probably argue Tatum, depending on how many games LeBron plays, and if he comes back, he's been playing great. Really can't argue Giannis. But to me, Mitchell's spot should be locked up for first team. Like that should already be sealed. Know what I'm saying? Because he is the best player on the clear best team. I don't know if they're gonna win the championship, but they're looking scary. Know what I'm saying? And no one's really talking about him like that. I don't know why.
Yeah, nobody really is talking about them. I think that's people are still more focused on the Celtics. People feel like the Celtics still gonna go back and probably win it again. Um, I mean, I don't blame them because the Celtics are still the Celtics at the end of the day, and they really haven't been truly fully healthy with the lineup with Porzingis in the lineup.
Yeah.
But and Drew Holiday been hurt some games, but um, yeah, I think people are sleeping on the Cavs for sure. I'm not saying they will not make it, but I feel like they got a good chance to, but that's why I feel like I think that's why people are sleeping on it for real. And Donovan Mitchell's not really averaging all crazy. I mean, he's averaging 24. That's not really too crazy, but like you said, when you got somebody that's averaging on the best team in the league, and if you see how their team is played, everybody knows they roll. Everybody's and like Evan Mobley's evolving. There's Garland's doing this thing, like Jared Allen. Like it's kind of hard to like you know what I'm saying. He doesn't really have to average more, but he's doing it efficiently and like you said, the best player on the best team. So it's like you have no choice but to give it to him. And the Cavs, I mean, best team in the league for a reason.
Right. Right. How far do you see them going in the East, by the way?
I mean, I feel like it'd be Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think it'd be any other team but the Cavs and Celtics. I'm not gonna say finals because it just depends on how the Celtics um it depends on how the Celtics are. Like if they're gonna play how they did last year in the playoffs, then yeah, I'll say Celtics, but Cavs is I don't think people should sleep. I think it should be a good finals. I mean, a good Eastern Conference Finals. I just can't say they're going to beat the Celtics right now. I think I would give the Celtics a little bit of the edge because of last year, but I'll say Eastern Conference Finals is their ceiling. I don't think they should even lose any other. Um, I don't think they should lose any other round unless it's the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay. If they okay, off topic question. If they was in the West, how far you see them getting?
Oh, well, I mean,
If they was in the
it'll be between Lakers, them, and the OKC.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. If you put the Celtics in the West. What you think that's gonna do? Like how you think
I
they
think it'll be Boston, OKC, and Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Depending on how the standings shake up, because I say that okay, if we say if let's say if the Lakers see OKC before the West Finals, then I think it'll be LA Boston. You know what I'm saying? I feel like whoever got to see Boston first, that's who's like gonna be in the West Finals. So like I think if Boston saw OKC, then I think Boston would make it to the West Finals, and then we would see them. We'd be on the other side of the bracket. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened if the Celtics had to see OKC before then?
Okay, hold on. Let me change that back. Let me change
Because
that.
I think OKC could beat Boston.
Yeah. I do too. I just confused myself. I don't know. I don't know. No. Those would be some good series. I'm back on OKC. I know I always said like I don't believe in them because they're too young. I believe in Shea. That's it. But hey, they got to win versus a team that made me a non-believer. So yeah, I'm a believer now. So I don't know. That's a hypothetical question. It's never gonna happen anyway.
Right.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and get to this last topic. We're gonna talk some football now. Talk some NBA. Uh, season's starting to come to an end. Playoffs starting to shape up. But football, bro, this offseason, Cincinnati Bengals paid their two wide receivers, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Both of them got upwards of what 20 something mil. I think T got 4 years, 115. Jamar got 4 years, 161. So he's making about 40 mil. T's making about 28. Still haven't paid Trey Henderson yet. No, they let him they openly said he can go out and ask for a trade. So what do you think them paying these two wideouts does for their team, their franchise going forward? It kept Joe happy. And then I got another question to ask you, but go ahead.
Um, I think they did what they needed to do for the franchise. If they ain't gonna sign nobody on defense, then you got to sign the best. You got to sign all your best players on offense. I mean, you can't just be having Joe Burrow out there by himself. So them signing T. Higgins and Chase to what they deserved was a good thing because I mean if you're not going to sign Trey Hendrickson to what he deserves, then I mean you got to sign what you got. Um, if they would have let them two walk. Oh, I mean, if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm asking for a trade. Now it's like Joe Burrow can be comfortable where he at. He still got his primary receivers. You know what I'm saying? He's still in this situation. It's just the defense at this point. I mean, you then basically gave yourself no room for defense. Now you have no choice but to draft every single defensive player in the draft at a cheap value because you have no more money. Like you then gave out $70 million basically to two receivers. You're paying your quarterback about 50 million a year. There's a reason why, and the reason why they didn't pay Henderson is because they knew they was going to keep T. Higgins and Chase. They couldn't sign all three of them to long-term deals like that, so they made sacrifices. Joe Burrow said he wanted to keep T. Higgins as well. He wanted to keep Chase like he wanted to keep T. Higgins, so they had to do what they had to do. I mean, it's better than them doing that than losing everybody.
Right. And honestly, like, so I'm watching certain shows and they're talking, and some of them think like they shouldn't have paid T. Some think they should have prioritized Trey and try to use T for draft capital. And I'm more so with you. I feel like they should have doubled down on T and Chase. And I would actually use Trey for draft capital because when I watched Trey play this past year, yeah, he was good, but don't get me wrong, like, and this maybe I don't know how this is gonna shake up some people when I say this, but like when I watched him play outside of the Chiefs game, when he had like 3, 4 sacks in that game, most of his sacks came against terrible teams. Like most of his sacks came from like bottom feeders. You know what I'm saying? Like the Raiders game. It was like 41-24. They beat the Raiders, blew them out. He had a great sack game. Like when I it was like when he played the great teams, like when the Bengals played the great teams, the Eagles, the Ravens, there were some others out there too. Steelers, Pittsburgh. Like I didn't really see it was a difference in his production versus those teams, especially Pittsburgh the first time around, than it was versus the bad teams. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really see the same Trey. And I feel like, he did have 17 and a half sacks like the last 2 years. So try to get a first round pick out of him. You know what I'm saying? Try to get a first and a second, first and a third, whatever, and use that and really just revamp this whole defense. You got rid of the defensive coordinator. You got rid of, I think the linebacker coach too with some more stuff. Like, just try to revamp this whole team on the defense side of the ball. Use him, get him up out of there, and try to bring in pieces. That, like I said, because they didn't pay Chase, they didn't pay T, they paid Gesicki. You know what I'm saying? Like they brought in some guys too, like TJ Slayton, Oren Burks. They signed some RJP Ryan back. You really can't spend no more money for real. So, like you said, like they're gonna have to crush the draft. Like they're gonna have to crush it. Like they're gonna have to hit on almost every player. Like defensive wise, every not every player, but almost every player they're gonna draft is gonna have to be a good player. You know what I'm saying? And that's been something historically that the Bengals haven't been good on. Because they got Cam Taylor Britt ass. They got they got Dax Hill ass.
Yeah,
Miles Murphy ass.
exactly.
um, and some more, like you know what I'm saying, bro. And they let some key guys walk out the door. DJ Reader gone. Jesse Bates gone. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think this was a step in the right direction because the Bengals were an organization that didn't want to pay their players. And now they didn't did that. So I hopefully this is the start of something new in Cincy. But yeah, they're gonna have to crush the draft this year. Like they're gonna have. There's no other way.
I, I agree with you. I'm starting to think like maybe Trey Hendrickson needs to take a pay cut, or maybe he needs to reevaluate his whole situation because you got to think about it. Like, if you really that good, like you led the league in sacks past 2 years, and you should definitely, in your eyes, get the money. But
Yeah.
when you put it that way and you only getting sacks against the bad teams and you're not doing no production against the good teams, it's like you don't think the Bengals or other teams are seeing that. Like, there's a reason why the Bengals are not signing him to what he needs. If the Bengals feel like he was a real priority, at least franchise tags or something. They didn't do that. I don't know if is he supposed to be a free? No, you can't. He's still a part of the deal. He's one better
No, I
deal.
think his contract's up, gang.
Oh, so then franchise tag. If you feel like he's a big priority, but I feel like what you said is what they're thinking. Like, and my thing is like, if you that good, bro, why haven't you got traded yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, why
Because
have?
you know why? So they talked about that. So there's teams out there that met his financial needs, but didn't meet the Bengals trade needs. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they want the proper draft compensation for him. Teams, there's teams out there that are already willing to pay him what he wants, but what they're trying to get back in return, the Bengals feel like it isn't enough.
So my thing is, what does that go down to? So in the Bengals situation, do you just take what you get eventually? Because this, I mean, it ain't like the situation will get any better. He's gonna want to get out. So I mean, do you think like my question is, do you feel the Bengals should at this point take what they can get, or I don't know what else I don't know what else because if I don't think you're gonna get a first round draft pick for him. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like
Really?
if that's, I mean, if that's the case, a team would have did it by now. I mean, I mean, he been requested a trade about a month ago.
You don't think a team will give up a first round draft pick for
I
Clay?
mean, I feel like in a month, in
Gang, my thing is like he has 17 and a half sacks the last 2 years. I don't know what, okay, like they ain't talking about that. I don't know what the draft conversation was for him, but it's like I find it hard to believe a team will give up a first round. P man was all pro first team last year.
no, I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm saying like okay. If I said I should, I didn't mean to say they shouldn't. I'm just saying like I want to know what's the draft needs. Like you know what I'm saying. I know there was some second round, probably third. Like is it if they're looking for first round? I mean, I'm surprised the team is not throwing out no first round draft pick. That's what I'm saying. Like how. I don't. I'm confused in that situation. I feel like he should have been got drafted. I mean, he should have been got traded at this point. It's been about a couple weeks now. It's Trey Henderson we're talking about. I personally, I don't know. That's crazy to me.
I don't know neither. Like I said, like I mean, I saw on social media today that they're talking about possibly just trying to work out a deal with him. Can't go wrong with that. But personally, if you can get a first round pick for him, maybe a second or third with that, I feel like you got to do that, bro. Because like I said, like Trey Hendrickson by himself is not enough to save that defense, and it showed.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
So
So
you
that's my
might as well try to like let him go somewhere where he can thrive, get his money, but use what you get back for him to help the defense. Because gang, like you said, gang, like you said, bro, they're going to have to crush the draft. They're gonna have all their draft picks got to be defensive players, maybe with the exception of an offensive guard because they lost Alex Kaplan. Outside of that, all their picks got to be defensive players, and they all got to be good picks. Trey Henderson by himself is not moving the needle for you. And
yeah,
if I feel
exactly.
like if you pay him, then I mean, yeah, you gotta still crush the draft, but you might be able to get another pick or two out of him. Know what I'm saying? Like if you trade him away, you got one first round pick. Now you might have two first round picks in this draft. You know what I'm saying? You might
Yeah.
have two second round picks. Whether you keep him and then you got one bite at the apple to get it right. You know what I'm saying?
It'll help the Bengals in the long run if they trade him basically.
Yeah, I feel like I think he's also like 30 years old too, like 31.
Yeah, it's like 29 or something like that. He only got about a good probably 5, 6 years anyway. That's how long the contract could be. I mean, who knows? He ain't, I mean, yeah. You might as well get the draft capital, see what you can get, and try to get that defense, make it a young defense. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, like you said, Trey Henderson by himself is not going to move the needle. You can have one Trey Henderson on that line, but if the rest of the defense is ass, what is that? What is him signing that contract going to do? You know what I mean, he can lead the league in sacks again, but he did it last year and they weren't good. So, I mean, he could do it again this year.
So that's my whole thing. But I think this was a step in the right direction for the Bengals organization because, like I said, like they've made a history of like not paying their players. And I found out today, I'm watching First Take, and they was like, remember Carson Palmer?
Yeah.
He basically forced his way out of Cincy because he on record talking about how the Bengals don't want to pay their players. And he basically got up out of there. You talking about a trade? Like if you Joe Burrow, you would ask for a trade. That's crazy because they were just talking about how Carson Palmer did that same thing a couple like years ago. So they definitely did right by signing these two because I'm with you, bro. Like if they didn't do this, oh yeah, Joe Burrow would have been up out of there, or he
You
would
got
have.
no choice.
Yeah, he would have tried his best to get up out of there, and I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. That's all the time we got for this show today. We want to appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on all platforms, TikTok, IG, Threads. We appreciate you guys so much. Tune in for the next video next week. Again, we post once a week. And with the more we do it, it's gonna be more days. So we appreciate you guys and see you on next video.
All right, see y'all.